Hey guys, it's Frank, hanging out with Garrett as usual.
Hey, gang.
Another evidence review video, and this time we're going back to Gunslinger Gulch. And I'm pretty excited about doing the evidence review for this one, and I'm actually excited for CCP to go back again.
Yes.
Because it's just an interesting place. It's a really cool place. And they've got their own Amazon show, which is pretty nuts.
Yep, the show is awesome. The family there is great. We love those
Yes.
guys. They're just phenomenal people, and we've got a great relationship with them, which is awesome. So I'm pretty sure we're going to be going back probably a number of times. In fact, we may even have a few later this year that we'll be going back. So
Nice.
stay up to date on the Facebook page for that one.
Yes, Facebook page, the website, it's all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
But check it out, because I'm pretty sure I'm going to check it out too. And we are going to get started with our first clip of the night, which is something that's kind of interesting, something that's kind of tied to another location that we have been and have been back to, but we haven't posted the video for yet.
Yes, indeed.
So we'll just play that for you now, and we'll talk about it after.
No, there's a small hole in the floor.
Is there any heat coming out of there?
No, it's cold.
Okay.
No, there's a small hole in the floor.
Is there any heat coming out of there?
No, it's cold.
Okay. So that sounds to me like it's very clearly saying Dumas.
Yeah. Yeah, and nobody acknowledges it in the video, right?
Right, which I thought was kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Like it either it didn't sound like that initially on site and it only sounds like that on the recording, or just nobody really caught it, because that happens sometimes too.
Yeah, right, for sure. And upon review, we did have a few investigators catch that. So, I heard it right away, and I was like, I even sent you a message. I was like, dude, you got to listen to this, because that's uncommon. Plus, those two locations have connections to each other.
Exactly. And
So
that's what's so crazy about it, is that there is that connection between the two locations, and to get the name to hear Dumas at Gunslinger, I don't know, like there has to be some kind of corollary event, right? Where if we're at the Dumas the next time and we hear something about Gunslinger,
right,
or whatever the original name of that town was,
right? That would just be too cool, man.
That
would be so cool.
Would be over the top.
That would be
this
awesome.
For me is already really good, like, because there's the connection and it's so clear,
right?
But that would just put this whole thing right over the top,
right?
And I can't wait to see what we got from the Dumas.
Oh, I can't wait to see everything that comes
cool.
out of that, for sure.
But let's stay focused, because we are still at Gunslinger Gulch. And this next clip is actually featuring an SLS camera, which is not something that we've featured on the show before.
Right.
Actually, no, that's a lie, because I did feature an SLS clip from Randolph, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, it was pretty early
way
on.
back at the beginning.
It was pretty early on. So it's been a while.
Been a while.
It's been a while.
It has been a while. So here's an SLS clip we think you should check out.
It's way up there, Cassie. Can you touch your hair?
It's like it's on the wall.
I know.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Yes.
Don't move, Kelsey, don't move.
No.
No, I did it. I did it. It's not going to hurt you.
Wall?
It's not going to hurt you. It's way up there, Cassie. Can you touch your hair?
It's like it's on the wall.
I know.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Yes.
Don't move, Kelsey, don't move.
No.
No, I did it. I did it. It's not going to hurt you.
Wall?
It's not going to hurt you.
So that's pretty cool. I like the SLS as a piece of investigative equipment, because of the way that it functions, but also not because of the way that it functions. Like there's a lot of give and take with the SLS camera, in terms of the tracking is very good.
Right.
In the daylight.
Right.
Sometimes
in the dark,
when
it's a
you're
little shifty.
When you're in a dark room, it can be dicey, but it does have that infrared and it does capture stuff. And you can see in that clip that the person is well tracked. You can see exactly where she's at. There are some discrepancies. You can see the limbs kind of flailing around a little bit when they shouldn't be.
That's because of the dark and.
But then there's a whole person. There's a whole other person figure right next to her that appears to almost be floating, like it's on the wall or something like that.
Right.
And that is really odd.
Yeah, for sure. I think a lot of people ask about the SLS. They're like, well, can it just track like a stationary object or something like that? But that's not quite how that works, right? Usually it traces some form of movement or whatever it is.
Yeah.
So to have something show up like that, it's not just going to happen, right?
Right.
There has to be something behind it to make that happen, which is what I think is really cool about SLS.
It was cool to have that SLS clip, but I don't think it was the weirdest thing that we caught at Gunslinger. The
Nope.
weirdest thing we caught is coming up. And this is just the strangest disembodied sound I've ever heard, because Garrett brought this to my attention that it almost sounds like it's coming from a recording, like it's coming from a vinyl or like a wax cylinder recording, an old style recording. And I'm going to play it for you, and we're going to see if you catch it. So that's bizarre.
Right.
It's really bizarre because it's like this quick snippet of another time.
Yep.
That's just punching through into our
So
recording.
our current time, yeah.
Just so bizarre because there's no reason for anyone else to have made any sounds like that.
Right.
There are parts of this clip, we had listened to the rest of the clip, and there are parts of it when you can hear people talking outside, but this simply just doesn't sound like that. It sounds like somebody dropped a needle on a record and picked it right back up.
Right. Yeah. All you're missing really from like an old Victrola record is the static, right? The clicking. Other than that, it sounds
The quality of the voice.
the quality of the recording. It sounds like an old recording like that,
Yes.
like an old jazz singer or something like that. It's totally cool, man. Blows my mind. That's a really
I
cool
love
find.
that clip.
That's a
That
really
one
cool
was really
find.
exciting. And another exciting clip that we have pulled from Gunslinger for you guys is it's a series of interactions involving a REM pod. And one of our evidence review team members, Brandon, is actually in this clip.
Yeah.
And, well, it's just, again, bizarre. It's a very bizarre series of interactions between the REM pod and the investigators in the room. Check this out.
Yeah, I didn't know I didn't know why it was going on.
Do it again to show us that you are here.
Oh, thank you.
Are you a friendly person?
Okay, I'm gonna move my foot.
Not that.
Okay, can you please make that stop? What's going on here? Why?
Thank you.
Is that the temperature?
I touched this again.
Can you stop that if you're a friendly person?
What?
Thank you.
Yeah, I didn't know I didn't know why it was going on.
Do it again to show us that you are here.
Oh, thank you.
Are you a friendly person?
Okay, I'm gonna move my foot.
Not that.
Okay, can you please make that stop? What's going on here? Why?
Thank you.
Is that the temperature?
I touched this again.
Can you stop that if you're a friendly person?
What?
Thank you.
Now, I said this was bizarre because there are a lot of things that are happening during these interactions that are not only atypical in like a normal situation, but things that are also atypical for the REM pod, for this specific piece of equipment.
Right.
There are times when I think it's Brandon goes to touch the REM pod, and instead of lighting up towards his hand, it stops.
Right.
That is literally the opposite of what a REM pod is supposed to do.
Yeah.
Which is why I found this so compelling. This is why I found it so strange.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, it's totally bizarre. Like you said, that happens. And there's a couple times where he does go to touch it and it doesn't stop and you see what it's supposed to do.
Yes. But during that initial, he goes to touch it and it's almost like whatever is there pulls away so fast.
Yep.
And it just doesn't
It just
register
dies
that
it.
his hand is even there.
Yeah. It's that, which if you've ever messed with a REM pod, that's just crazy.
And
I
they're
think-
sensitive.
Yeah,
They're incredibly
exactly.
sensitive. I think
Yeah,
that's
oh,
what,
yeah, you
that's
get-
what you're talking about there. Is even when you're pulling the antenna out to initially set these things up, they're going nuts.
Yeah, crazy. I mean, obnoxiously noisy. But I just love like when you can get a piece of equipment like a REM pod or an EMF detector or whatever, and it is directly responding to you. So like you
Yes.
ask it to do something and it does it, and then you ask it to stop and it stops. I mean, that is just so
It's
cool to me,
huge.
especially when it's something that you would think would just keep going or stop
Right.
otherwise, you know?
Exactly. It's a piece of equipment that is misbehaving in an extremely a suspicious way. I don't know how
Right.
else to say that.
Would you
really.
almost say it's like paranormal?
I would say it is in fact paranormal.
So yeah, I don't know. I mean, just stuff like that is just so cool. And I mean, this is
I
kind
agree.
of part of the reason why we do this, right? It's all about getting that kind of solid, pure evidence.
It's because this is the kind of stuff that makes us really geeked.
Yeah.
That's why we do this.
Yep. 100%. 100%.
But thanks for hanging out with us once again, and thanks for sticking around to the end of the video. And as always, thanks to Brandon and the entire review team, because without you guys, none of this would be possible.
Always.
And we'd be so far behind, it wouldn't be fun. So thank
Yes.
you guys so much. And just a quick plug for the next video. We're going back to the Dumas, and I'm excited to see that.
Yes.
And I'm excited for you guys to see that, because we got so much stuff at the Dumas, we had to split the video in two.
2 videos last time.
I'm really hoping we have to do that again, because I just have to know what's going on at the Dumas, and I really want. That's another one of those locations.
Yep.
Next time we're in Montana, I have to go. I have
go.
to see these
Yep.
places.
One of my favorite locations that I've been to. I mean, just, you know, we've talked about it before.
Yes.
Haunted.
Haunted. Exactly.
So anyways, that's super exciting. So, but that's going to be
Yes.
the next video we do. So.
And I'm hoping to check it out in person. I hope you do too. We'll see you next time.